So, good morning, everyone. So, we'll be starting now with a seminar on Vedic mathematics. Today, I have with me Yojana Bhardwaj. She's from Scotland, Pibbles, for which we are specially hosting this seminar today. So, we'll be having some guests from United Kingdom, Scotland, and I think just because of time gap they have not joined now, but I'm getting their messages, so they'll be joining very shortly. No issues, we'll start. So very first question arises is, what is Vedic mathematics? Why do we want to learn Vedic mathematics, and why is it called magical? My Am I audible to everyone? I'm not able to hear. You can chat on your chat boxes so that we'll be able to hear you, everyone. Okay, so we won't wait now. Let them join in between, no issues, and we'll be sharing them the screen later or the recordings. Yeah. So, what is Vedic mathematics? This is a very first question. So, Vedic mathematics is a collection. If we talk about it, is a collection of we have more guests joining now. Okay, it is a collection of techniques, or we can call it as formulas or sutras in our language, which helps to make our calculations easy and faster. So this is a very basic definition. Now the point arises, why it is called Vedic mathematics? Why not something else? So the answer to it is, this subject, it is believed to be originated from our Vedas. So are you all aware about Vedas? So in particular, this subject was believed to be evolved from Atharveda, the Vedas which deal with engineering, mechanics, science, which we use in day-to-day life. And that is the major reason it is known as Vedic mathematics. But this subject was later revived by Swami Bharti Krishna Tirthji Maharaj. He was Shankaracharya Jagadguru of Puri. You might be knowing Jagannath Puri in Odisha. So he was a Shankaracharya of that Peeth, and he revived this subject, and which has given us a very wonderful subject, a magical mathematics, which we all use today for our day-to-day basis, for our entrance examinations, and it has enormous benefits. So we'll be dealing everything today in this seminar, and definitely we'll have a question round where we'll ask you what are your doubts. And in this seminar, I'll expect Yojana to brief you something later on, or you can ask, because definitely people who belong to UK and Scotland, they'll be more easy uh, for them to contact her. Now coming to, what does it has? how we'll be going ahead. What are the different formulas we are talking about? So Vedic mathematics has 16 sutras, or we can call it as formulas or the techniques, and 13 sub-sutras or sub-formulas or sub-techniques. And these 29 sutras and sub-sutras makes your mathematics magical. Are you ready for the magic? So I hope now more people. Okay. So now coming to the point, this subject, Vedic mathematics, it is not a part of curriculum of any syllabus. It is not a part of curriculum of any state government board in India, not even CBSC, ICSC, and even abroad, if we talk about IB or any other board. So when we don't have this particular subject in our course curriculums, now definitely a student thinks, why should I learn this? I'm not able to complete. I had a student from Australia last day, and the same answer. Why should I go for this when I don't have to get any, I don't have to score anything. I'm still pending with my earlier subjects. Why should I take another one more subject? Why should I study what a subject which has no marks, which will not give me any credits? Yes, definitely this subject is not a part of curriculum of any university or any board or any state government board. But still, the uses are so enormous that it's not only education, it is a overall development of a child. And we'll deal with each and every point today. So now coming to the point, why should we learn Vedic mathematics? We will learn Vedic mathematics because of its advantages, because of its uses. And the very first use is it makes our calculations 10 to 15 times faster. Can you believe? No. But we have the proofs for the same. In the coming session, in this session only, you'll be able to calculate faster than before. Within seconds, you'll be able to calculate multiplications, additions, and all. And that too in fraction of seconds. So the very first advantage is it increases your speed 10 to 15 times faster. Now the question arises, why does it happen? Being in today's world, we cannot agree to whatever is being said. We always want a reason behind it. So what is the reason? Why do the calculations become faster? I'll give you 4 different reasons. Very first reason is whenever we calculate, we always go from right to left. Is it the way our brain works? Why I'm saying right to left? We solve first unit place, then we solve tens place, then we go for 100 place. So is it what our brain is adapting, or is it the way our brain works? No. Why? See for yourself, whenever we read a paper or read anything, we are always moving from left to right. Whenever we are writing anything, we are moving from left to right. So why? Similarly, if you look in front of you, there is a wall with some objects placed over it. If you see to it, you'll find be seeing the objects on left hand side first and then on the right hand side. Yes, the timing is so fast that sometimes we will not be able to get, but exactly this is happening. Now, this is how our brain works. The brain stimulates your eyes from left to right. And while doing mathematical calculation, we were doing reverse of it. So that is one reason why our mathematics calculations are always slow. But with the help of Vedic mathematics, we are able to perform these calculations either from left to right or right to left. We get this flexibility to work. That is the biggest reason why our speed increases, because now you are working in accordance to your brain. Second reason, now most of the calculations we perform in our memory, what we call as mental calculations. So we are not taking help of any pen or paper. So when we are not using any external object, definitely our speed would increase. And you'll find this when we'll be going for the calculations, when we'll be going for the multiplication of any digit number with 11. Now, if I ask you, what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 11? You'll start writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you'll write 11 and you'll start performing the calculation. But with Vedic mathematics, you'll be able to answer then after 20 minutes 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 5. And you see, I'm calculating from left to right. Got it? Third reason, if I take about the same question, similar kind of question, what is 786 into 121? What you'll do, you'll just write 786. Behind that, you'll write below that, you'll write 121 and you'll start multiplication. You'll perform multiplication thrice and then you'll perform addition. You were correct up till now. But when we are learning Vedic mathematics, it gives us the concept of visual ability. You try to visualize a number. You try to find a reason behind the number. You try to find a logic in that. You'll try to find what is hidden in the numbers 121 and 786. And what is hidden, I'll be showing you after 20 minutes. So you'll try to visualize numbers. That means your visual ability is improved. We try to find the reason and logics in the numbers. That means this further improves your reasoning and logic power. So when these three things are perfect, when your visual ability is good, your reasoning and logic power is good, this won't help you only in Vedic mathematics or mathematics. It will help you in lifelong process. You find any problem in your life, you'll be able to solve it with the help of these three things: visualizing, finding a reason, and a logic thereafter. Fourth point. Now we are performing all these calculations, keeping some part in the mind. in the brain. So that helps in the activation of more intellect in the brain. Our both brains, left and right brain, they get activated. And you might be knowing people I think somebody is again trying to hack. So people who have more of logics, their left brain is active. And people who have more creativity, their right brain is active. And with the help of Vedic mathematics, both the brains get activated. And thus our speed increases. So this was the first reason why we should learn Vedic mathematics, that it improves your speed of calculations from 10 to 15 times faster. Second major reason why we should learn Vedic mathematics. Now this is for particularly for the kids. It reduces their burden. When we talk about burden, the burden is cramming the tables. Ask a student who is in third or fourth class and the teacher asks to remember the tables up till 49 or 50. And then later on to remember the tables up till 99. Think how difficult it is to cram a table and then to spell it out in the front of a class. This is the first step where a fear of mathematics is generated. This is the first time when a student start feeling a fear of mathematics. And this fear continues for lifelong. But with the help of Vedic mathematics, you don't have this burden. You need not to remember, you need not to cram any tables up till 99 or something. You just need to remember tables up till 8 only. So can you believe this? So simple. Now, if you ask me, what is the minimum eligibility to learn Vedic mathematics? So the answer is, very first thing, you should know tables up till 8. And second, can you, any guesses? Any answer from? All are mute. Any answer? Okay. So the minimum eligibility is, one thing is tables up till 8, another single digit addition. How simple it is. We just need to know what is 9 plus 9, what is 9 plus 8, what is 9 plus 7, what is 7 plus 7, and you won't believe, I know, but we'll solve it, and it would be very clear that we need only these two things to learn Vedic mathematics. Coming to the third use, coming to the third advantage of Vedic mathematics, it reduces our scratch work. You might have seen kids performing rough work on the side when they are appearing for the paper or even in their notebooks. But believe me, when we'll do these calculations using Vedic mathematics, we will not be in need of any scratch work, because most of the calculations, they are being done with the help of, in the mind itself, or and most of them are being done in a single or double steps. That's all. No multiple calculations. Fourth advantage. Anybody knowing about abacus? Or you might have seen kids doing counting on fingers and then they get confused. Definitely they are kids. So might be they get confused. In Vedic mathematics, you don't need to remember to do finger counting, as in case of abacus or what generally kids do. No requirement. A major advantage, the fifth one. Now, this is what everybody is blaming. If you talk to any student, if you talk to any person, he'll have this complaint. I cannot concentrate. My concentration levels are low. I cannot sit together. So, what to do now? Vedic mathematics, it gives you a new life. When you're working on Vedic mathematics, your visual ability has improved. Your logics are strong. Reasoning power is developed. Your right brain, left brain is activated. So you take more interest in the subject. You try to, you are always confident in a joyous mood while performing those calculations, which was a dull subject earlier, or which was the toughest, or which was a fear earlier. When you don't have that fear, when you have a joy in the mind, definitely your concentration level will improve, because you are giving time to that subject now. You are finding it interesting. And this is how you'll generate the interest in all other things, whatever you do. It may be subjects, it may be any lifelong process. So I hope this is a very good solution, how to improve concentration. No need to buy any medicine for that. No need to take any syrups for that. So kids can perform. They can concentrate more now with the help of this. Coming to the last but not the least advantage is it reduces silly mistakes. So when I talk about silly mistakes, what does it mean? What are the silly mistakes we generally tend to make? It is carryovers, multiple carryovers. If we have to multiply two numbers, there are so many carryovers. Or if we are asked to subtract, we have too many borrows. Even a single digit number, if I ask 1000 minus 7, for that also we have three borrows. But a very important thing, we don't have a concept of borrowing in Vedic mathematics. There is nothing like borrow. So how will we perform subtraction? It would be more simpler. Believe me, it would be more simpler. It would be more easier. And you don't have multiple carryovers also. It would be as simple as you cannot believe right now. But definitely when you'll start doing it, it would be on your tips. I hope I'm clear with I made you the concepts clear. If any doubt is there, you can write down on the chat box. We'll give and we'll wait for another 2 minutes so that I'll be able to answer all your queries. Okay, so let's move to the calculation part now. So the first topic we'll start with is multiplication with 11 and its multiples. So it is a very interesting topic, and it will make you believe that yes, Vedic maths has a magical results. So let's take a first number. What is 26 into 11? You'll say it is very simple. 26, 11 gives 26, then 0, then 26. So it gives 286. Yes, this is how we used to do. This is a conventional way of mathematics. But what will happen if a number is this much big? We'll perform calculations, and this, since we are taking carryovers, it may lead to some problems. It may lead to some confusion. Now, I'll tell you how to do this in Vedic mathematics. So our number was 26. Now, when we are taking a 2-digit number, remember, a 2-digit number when multiplied with 11, it will always give minimum 3 digits. It will lead to minimum 3 digits. It could be 4 also. So the first unit place would be filled by the unit place of a question. The tens place would be filled by the 100 place. And in between, the sum of these two will come. So we'll have 2. 2 plus 6 makes 8 and 6. The answer is same. But how much time makes a difference? It took us around 1 minute, and this is taking only 5 to 10 seconds. Let's solve another. Let's come to the bigger problem. And what is 36 into 11? So 3, 9, 6. 43, 4, 7, 3. 63, 6, 9, 3. 72, 7, 9, 2. How fast we are going? Any doubts? Yes, you can come up on a chat. Okay, no doubts. Let's move ahead then. Now, if it is 37, so 3, 7. Now here, when we add this, it will give us a 2-digit number. Now you have to remember this. We cannot have 2 digits at one position. Like 2 people cannot sit on one chair. We cannot have 2 digits at one position. So what we'll do, we'll just carry over. And the answer would be 407. Let's take another. 67. So 6, 7, 13. So 7, 3, 7. See, when you'll practice, you'll find one thing. We will not have a carryover of more than one. Why? Because we are adding single digits. So largest single digit is 9 plus 9. So even that will give result in 18. So when we are performing this, we can directly think, before writing first digit, we can think what will be the next digit. It would be with a carry. So we can just add that one simply. And then, yes, you'll be able to do this with the practice of 5 to 10 minutes. You'll be able to do it. But am I clear up till now? Any doubts? So let's move. Okay, I was receiving some messages. Let's move to a 3-digit number. So this was a 2-digit number. Coming to 3-digit number, let's take 1, 2, 3. Now, how will we perform here? It would be 1. Then we'll add these two, 3. Then we'll add these two, 5. And last as it is. So first and last as it is. In between, add the corresponding numbers. Another 1, 4, 1. So 1, 5, 5, 1. So all, remember, we are all calculating multiplications of these numbers with 11. Any doubts? Okay, now let's have a carryover question. 1, 6, 7. So first again, answer would be 1. Then 1 plus 6 means 7. Now before writing 7, I can see what is next, 13. So that means one carryover would be there. Or initially you can add this step, 1, 7, 13 and 7, and then this will go. So how easy it is. Any doubts? Okay, coming to a 4-digit number, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again same, 1, 3, 5, 7, 4. And if you remember, I asked the same question. What is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 11? So what was the answer? Only this 9 is to be added here. And this is your, and this will be becoming 5. So this is your answer, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 5. How easy and faster. So I think I'm being able to prove my first point, that Vedic mathematics improves your speed from 10 to 15 times. Your calculations are becoming easy and faster. Any doubt? Any doubt we have? You can share on my chat box. Any doubt? Nothing. Very few doubts. I'm getting some. Clear now. Okay. So let's take a last example. With carryovers 2, 6, 7, 3 into 11. So what will be getting? 2. Now I'm writing 2 because I know this will be giving me a single digit number 8. But before writing 8, I can see what would be the next answer. It would be 13. So I can directly write 9 also. So this will improve your speed. Then I have to write 3 because, but I'll just check with the next. It is 10. So that means again a carryover would be there. So 4. And then, so 10 means 0 is left and 3 as it is. Or initially you can go for a step that is 2, 8, 13, 10 and 3. Clear? So let's have a test time then. If all are clear, no doubts are there, let's go for a test. Ready? A simple question. 1, 4, 1 into 22. Let me see how many would give me a right answer. You can send me answers on the chat. All correct. No, one is wrong. Sorry. Okay, I'll give you. Now, this is what happens. The topic I taught was multiplication with 11 and its multiples. But I gave you all the examples of 11. Now, student generally fails to understand or remember that this can be applied to further. So this is, now you have to visualize, is this number related to 11 or anything? Since we have learned only first topic, so we'll just visualize about 11. Yes, it is. What is this? 1, 4, 1 into 2 into 11. Correct. So we'll first solve this. 282 into 11. And that gives me 3102. Got it? Now, few of you will say, why not multiply 141 into 11 first and then with 2? Yes, you can do it. You will be going for 1551 and then 2. You are absolutely correct. And this is what Vedic maths give you the options. But why I prefer this is, if instead of 22 we had 88, then it would have been difficult to multiply bigger number with 8 over here. And with 11 we can multiply any big number. So that is the reason first multiply by other number and at the last multiply with 11, so that your answer is, so that you can perform the calculation more easily. Otherwise, both the things are correct, both the ways are correct, but definitely I have the logic to why I did this. Correct. Another example. 5, 6, 4 into 1. We started, I thought there was an example I gave, 786 into 121. And that was I asked you one thing, whether the speed would be increased and how will you do. Now, before this, you would have just written down this and started performing the calculation. But now you know, uh, when you'll visualize, you'll know that this is 11 into 11. So 564 will into 11 into 11. So that is the simplest. Now, since both are 11, it hardly matters which 11 you take for. So 6, 2, 0, 4 into 11 gives me 6, 8, 2, 4, 4. So do you think this was possible? This answer was possible within 5 seconds if you would have done with the conventional method? No, absolutely no. Now, what do we conclude from these calculations? Very first thing, if you see, our topic was multiplication with 11 and its multiples. But did we actually perform multiplication? No. We were just adding corresponding single digit numbers. And that was, I told you earlier also, if you know addition of single digit numbers, you will be able to calculate everything. Second, we did calculations from left to right and not from right to left, which we were usually doing earlier up till now. So that is one, because when you think in mind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 11, so you will not be able to calculate from right, and mentally you'll be more comfortable from performing left to right. Correct? Any doubts now? Now, some of you will ask me why we took pairs of 2 only. Why not 3? So there is a reason, and we'll study in coming sessions, but I'll just give you an answer, a very hint. Now, here there are 2 ones. That was the reason we were making pairs. If it is 2, 6 into 111, then we will make a combination of 3 numbers. Now here we don't have third number, so we'll just add 0. So the first would be 0, then first 2 digits, then first 3 digits, then see, I'll tell you, first 0, then combination of 2, then 3, then again 2. We'll omit first digit and come to back to the 2, and then the last itself 6. So it would be 2, 8, 8, 6. If it is 4 ones, it would be 2, 8, 8, 8, 6. You can check it on yourself. That is your homework. Correct? Okay. So coming to another interesting topic of the day. So I'm just, if you've jotted down, I'll just clear it off. So very important topic and a very interesting one. Multiplication. So a very interesting topic. Multiplication tables of numbers ending with 9. Let me ask you a simple question. I would like you can unmute yourself and answer this. If I ask you to write a table of 49, how much time you need? Or if I ask you a table of 1119, how much time you need? Yeah, I'm getting chat. I'm getting more than 5 minutes. No, not 5 minutes. See, if we have to do Vedic mathematics, we cannot think of minutes. In Vedic mathematics, calculation should be in seconds. That is a Mool mantra. So any more answers? 5, 6, Acha. 10. Okay. Yes, for 119 might be. No, 1119. They need 10 minutes. I need 10 seconds. I'll just prove you. So do you remember this? We generally used to play cross and correct. So we just have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any doubt up till here? Okay, I'll tell you how I am writing. We are starting from rightmost corner and we are going this way. So this is our direction. Okay. So let us take a first example. Everybody knows the table of 9, but no, I won't start with 9. Let us start with 19. Now you just have to be clear enough. Whatever number, whatever digit or digits. So I'll say digit or digits. They exist before 9. Just take care of that. We have to start with that digit and we have to skip those many numbers. Now here it is 1. So we'll be starting with 1 and we have to skip 1. Or now some of us would be finding it difficult because skipping 1 is comfortable. 1, then skip 1 means 2 is skipped and then we write 3. Then 4 is skipped and we write 5. But when it would be 1119, then it would be difficult. So we have a solution for that also. Whatever this number is, add 1 to it. So we can add 1 to the number. So that means here for this question, it would be 2. So first I'll do start with this add 2 to this one, because I have to add one more. So that gives me 3. 3 plus 2 gives me 5. Remember, we have to come opposite way. 5 gives me 7. Then it gives me 9. Then it gives me 1. Then it gives me 13. This gives me 15. And this gives me 17. Not even 10 seconds. What is this? This is a table of 19. 19 ones are 19, 2s are 38, 3s are 57, 4s are 76, 5s are 95. We have 114, 133, 152, 171, and last you can write down on yourself. It would be whatever number is there, add 0. Correct. So my question was 49. Now, after this, if you want to change your statements, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 6 minutes, you are free to do that. Otherwise, we'll solve it out. Yeah, people are changing now. Okay. So 49 means I'll start with 4, add 5 means 9, add 5 means 14, add 5 means 19, add 5 means 24, add 5 means 29, add 5 means 34, add 5 means 39, add 5 means 4. So what, how many seconds I took? It was 8 seconds. So this is a table of 49. So we were thinking of 600 seconds and I completed this within 10 seconds. If we give this trick, these small topics, if we teach to our kids, they'll definitely generate interest in mathematics. Any doubts now? Let's take a last example. The thing which I received answers like it will take more than 10 minutes. So let us conclude that also. It should not, it should, one should be clear that it is not applicable for only 2 digits. It is applicable for 3 also. Here it is not digit, it is digits. So now we'll add 1 to this. So we have to add this. So first start with this, add 12. So that gives 23. Add 12, it gives 35. Add 12, it gives 47. Add 12, it gives 59. Add 12, 71, 83, 95, 107. So could we have ever thought we can write a table of 119 within 10 seconds? Unbelievable. Yes. So the magic continues, and we'll be coming to our last topic of the day thereafter. So this is applicable for any number 9, but it should end with 9. 19, all this up till 99, then 119, 719, anything, clear? Sure. Let's come to the last topic, and the topic is, again, it is multiplication tables itself. So we have done, so we know we remember tables up till 8, 9 we have done. But if I ask a table of, so I'm able to, I did a table of 49. Now the question arises, how much time you need to write a table of 48, 37, 68, 98, or 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, or 9, 8, 7, 878, anything. So this is where our kids face problem. And I'll answer you. You'll say, where do we need tables? Because tables are generally asked in initial days. Later on, we don't need tables. No, we need tables at all the stage of mathematics. But the thing is, we are not required to write a complete table, but definitely wherever mathematical multiplication comes, it is a need of a table. And I'll give you a simple method to solve this today. So let's take a first example, a very simple example, a table of, okay, let's take 12 only. So what do we do now? We write a 12, then we write 24, adding 12, again 36, again 48, again 60. But it is okay because the number was 12. When it goes to 18, now it becomes difficult. 36. Now 6 plus 8, again 4, and one carryover, 54. Right? So how do we do in Vedic mathematics? I'll 1 and 2, or let's solve. So now what we do, we write down the tables separately. So the table of 1 is correct, and the table of 2 is, see, this is a very simple thing which we if we would have been taught, we would have got this knowledge. Now we simply arrange 12, combine the two days, 24, 36, 48. Now question arises, what here? See, I told you, you cannot have two numbers at one position. So here we have two digits at our unit place, because this is now unit place. This is our tens place. So what I do, I move this one to this place. So it becomes 6 and 0. Similarly, 2 and 7. And remember, we are just doing single digit addition now. Earlier we were doing double digit. Now we are doing single digit. When you were performing, so this is a basic difference. You were adding 12, 12, 12, 12. I am adding only a single digit, 6. So 8 plus 1, 9. Here 8, and 9 plus 1 makes 10. Now you'll say, why two digits on this place? See, it is a leftmost position. So it is not 2 at 1. It can be, it is basically third position, which is empty. Yes, if we have a digit there, when we'll be going for 3-digit numbers, then we'll move further. Here 1, 2, 0. 10 plus 2 makes 12 and 0. Is it so? All your doubts clear now? Let's take another example. 38. This is very difficult otherwise, because adding 38 every times, or let's take more tough. 68. So adding 6, 8 and 2, that means double digit we were adding. Now what we'll do, we'll simply add single digits. So 12, here 16. Let's write this way, that's so that you are not in a confusion. 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. Correct. Here 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, and so on. We can go. So 68. Now this can be moved here. So it becomes 1, 3, 6. So what do you find easy? Adding 68 to 68 or adding 1 to 12? 20. 18 plus 2 makes 20 and 4. 24 plus 3, it makes 27 and 2. 30 plus 4, it gives 34 and 0. 36 plus 4, 40 and 8. 42 plus 5, 4, 7, 6. Any doubts now? So, okay. So again, now sometime people ask me, like it is a general question. Where will I need the table of 68 or 76 or 89 or anything? Where will I need? You don't need a table. But whenever you are multiplying, whenever you are doing multiplication, for example, let's take a very simple example, 99 into 7. Now you do it this way, 3, 6, 63, 9, 6. Correct? I do differently. Just now we saw we will multiply separately. So it is 63. It is also 63. Now this is a balancing line basically I have put. See here, if something goes wrong, you cannot cross verify. But here you're writing 63 and 63. And now you cannot have two different digits at one position. So you'll move this to this. So it becomes 693. And you can well verify anytime whether the thing I did was correct or not. This is known as balancing line. Even when we did 11, it was a balancing line in between that, though it is not it is not visible or it is not to be depicted. But we have to keep in mind that this balancing line means we have to have one digit at every position, every place value. Let's take another example. 767. Okay, let's take this way. Yes, I'll be going for single digit on the other side, because going for double digit, that is a different process. That is a Urdhva Sutra we'll be studying later on. But I'm just giving you hints. Let's say 7. Now your conventional mathematics says 49, then 9. Okay, let me write 9. So 4 here, 6, 7, 42 and 4, 6 and 4, 49 and 4 means 53. Now you see, this is where the silly mistakes kids do. They forget this carryovers, and we have two carryovers. And if I make any mistake, I'll not be able to verify this until I perform a calculation again. Now, what is the solution in Vedic mathematics? You think this is a table of 3-digit. So what will come at the 7th position? Just remember this way. Now this is a balance. This was a balancing line. You can say, though we give it by a slash. So at 7th position, it would have been 49, correct? And here it would have been 42. And here 49. Now I know I have to move this 4 here. So 9 here, 6 here. Again, 4 has to be moved here. See the difference? You don't get confused because the carryovers are not done in the manner which we do earlier. So this is, you're still using the table only. But yes, you have gone directly to the 7th position. I think I made it clear. So even 3-digit number, now you can see we have solved a table of 3-digit numbers. So second position, it would have been 14, 12, 14, and I've gone directly to the 7th position to show you this result. So burden has been removed of the tables. Speed has been increased. Visual ability is improving. Definitely it won't improve today in a day, but it will take another. If you practice this for at least 10 days, you'll get everything. This work, does this work for all numbers apart from 9, or each number has different? So Neeraj is asking. Neeraj, you can come online and you can ask me. I'm not able to now. You can ask me, Neeraj. Neeraj, what is your question? Hello? Hello? Okay, you're not allowed to unmute. I'm doing. It was done. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes. So what was your question?
Are you okay?
Yeah, what was your question, Neeraj?
My question was on that table of 9 when you are showing. I was asking, does that thing, why? I think that is specifically for 9. As you said, probably we
Yes,
can remember up to 8, but not 9, is it?
yes. See, that trick works only on 9, and for any other, we have done this now. How to see? We can divide that table into single digits. For example, this example which I gave you, 767 into 7. Now, basically, we are writing a table of 767 only. Got it? And but yes, that trick works only for 9. See, we can go for, there are small tricks for 4, 6 also, but I don't want kids to cram each and everything. So 9 was applicable to all the numbers. There are certain tricks which teachers design or they make to teach the kids, but what I feel is the word trick is not correct. It should be a system. So with 9, it is for all the numbers which end with 9. And for all other, I've given the very clear thing how to get a table of any digit number. It may be 2-digit number, it can be 3-digit number, it can be 4-digit number, and where to use it. See, we in Vedic mathematics, the basic concept is to make calculations simple. First thing. Second thing, what we have to remember is each place value will have 1 digit, and that makes everything easy.
No, definitely. Yeah.
Anyone?
So does this Vedic mathematics do more than the multiplications, or I mean, what's the
Yes,
limit
yes, yes, yes. See, now you see, we are doing Vedic mathematics for everything. That we are doing it for algebra, we are doing it for geometry, we are doing it for trigonometry, we are doing it for calculus, we are doing it for conics and whatnot. You just name any part of any subject of mathematics. Even in chemistry, when we talk about organic chemistry, there also we use it. See, I won't even I have heard that it is being used by NASA, but because I don't have any proof for that, so I won't comment on that. But yes, for all these mathematics subjects, we are using.
Okay.
Hello.
So during this course, if somebody attends this course of Vedic mathematics, will they be taught about according to their grade what they learn in the school, or up to what level they want to go, or it's as per the child,
No,
what they want to do?
See, I, being a teacher, I don't give them the freedom, because I'll tell you the reason behind it. If you consider a child of 5th class or 8th class, I am talking about let it be 8th. Now, if you ask them to, if you try to teach them addition, do you know what they'll say? It's not my age to learn addition. But if you give them a sum to add, they'll take more than time required. If you ask them to subtract something, they will say, it's not my job to solve simple subtraction. But if you give them the question, so we have, all of us, we think that we have crossed that level. But simple addition, if I give a very simple example. If you give your child a 100 rupees note and ask to buy a bananas or something from a hawker, he'll not be able to calculate how much he'll be paying them and how much in return he'll be getting. This is just because we think addition and subtraction are very simple. So in Vedic mathematics also, I start with first is concepts. Now this I've showed you this table, but when we'll do Vedic mathematics tables, it will not have number 9, 8, 7, 6. So we'll work with only 5 numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in normal mathematics, we have 9 numbers, but in Vedic mathematics, we'll work only with 5 numbers. This is just to reduce that value so that our calculation.
Which numbers is
sorry?
Which numbers are that?
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Numbers are same, but we'll convert them to vinculum numbers. Now, vinculum numbers are numbers with bar. So that the purpose is to make the calculation easy. Correct? Because sometimes we have to calculate big numbers. So that is in conventional, it will take 10 minutes. But in Vedic mathematics, it will take around not more than a minute. So any calculation.
That is fine. What I wanted to understand is when you ask a student, for example, a person in India in 6th grade comes to you and say, I want to learn Vedic mathematics. Do you go via their mathematics course in the school, what they've been taught to up to level, saying that, okay, in Vedic mathematics, I'm not going to go beyond what they have been taught at level 6 in the schools?
No, I'll tell you. I'll start with, again, I'll start with the basics first. Second, we go stepwise. See, I have written the books in a very simple manner, and with the basic start. So first would be addition, because it is the simplest
Correct.
algebraic thing that we do. Because in algebra, see we have, sorry, arithmetic, we have only addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So first we'll be going for addition, then we'll be going for subtraction. Because even if you talk of, you are saying addition, but addition till now you are calculating from right to left. So you speed, see why we need to learn addition first. See, what is the target? First thing we should understand is our target is to improve our speed and skill, because uh, we are talking about both the kids. See, this is not a part of any syllabus. So we need to understand their requirement. Now their requirement is for 5th class, concentration is one requirement. Learning tables is another requirement. No interest in mathematics is a point. But for people who have already into BTech, I have more of students in BTech who are with me than people who are applying for CAT. Now with those, it is a race against time. They have to appear for 100 questions in 120 minutes. So if they are doing that way, it's not easy to do.
Correct. So my question, I think, just to confirm what you're saying is, why I'm asking this question. For example, year 6, let's assume, I'm assuming, okay, year 6th or 6th class student is learning 3 digits, okay, multiplication, as per their course in the school. I'm assuming.
Yes,
would
yes.
you go and tell them about 5-digit multiplication or 6-digit multiplication, because that's not been taught in the school as yet? Or would you restrict yourself just to the syllabus which are there? I'm restrict maximum level I'm talking about.
See, very
basic is fine.
No. I'm answering this. See, very first thing is, now, as per your question, if they are doing up till 3-digit numbers, correct? See, there is one myth. Myth is it is a set of tricks. So it is not a set of tricks. It is a concept. For example, when I taught you 11, now why I took example of 111 was to make you understand the concept, not give you a trick, because trick you will forget. Similarly, when you come to the multiplication of 3-digit number, so there is hardly any difference between 2-digit number multiplication, 3-digit number multiplication, or 4-digit number multiplication. So the student finds himself. See, initially I came across a student 3 days back from Germany. Now I asked, see, when I'm teaching, it's not like we have to stick to our syllabus only. So I asked, what are your problems? He said, I don't understand fractions. Correct. Now fractions, why they don't understand? Because basic multiplication they don't know. Correct. So when I gave that concept, I have not taught that. I just shared the concept on WhatsApp, and the answer was yes, I got it, because she has cleared 3 steps of Vedic mathematics. So with time, you will also develop that sense, you'll develop that knowledge, you'll develop that skill also. So the answer is to everyone, whether he is in class 5 or he's appearing for CAT. Okay. If he is a student, I will teach everything. Now, if he or she is a teacher, they should know all the methods. Now, what I want to say by methods is, if you have to find a square of a number, if he's a student, I can teach him only 2 methods. One is for a 2-digit number, one is for 3 and higher digit numbers, correct? And a sub sutra for 5 ending with 5, it becomes very easy. For example, if you want to find a square of 35, it is 1 2 2 5. Now how do I calculate? It is 5 means it will end with 25 only, and 3 means since the previous number is 3, it has to be multiplied by 1 more. Now, but if she's a teacher or he's a teacher who is studying, I have in book written 10 different methods. See, Vedic mathematics give you the flexibility. It is not like solving a question with one method. It is having in some cases, even 5 sutras are being used to solve the same question in different way. What my point? One is, see,
Yeah.
I didn't uttered a single name of a sutra today because it was the first class. So, and definitely Sanskrit is difficult for certain people. So otherwise, same question can be solved with 6, 7 methods. Correct. So for a student, it has to be taught from 0 to 6th level all, so that they have a complete set of knowledge. And for a teacher, it is definitely higher. I hope now it is clear. So because we cannot omit, I told you the reason. No student will ever agree to say, if let us consider you. Now, you'll say, why should I learn addition? Definitely, first instance, you will say. But when you'll realize, yes, see, that all depends on the teacher, how much interest he or she creates. Otherwise, addition is a basic thing. But now, if you saw this session from the beginning, we multiplied with 11, a 5-digit number with 11 only. And we didn't perform any multiplication. We were simply adding the digits. So addition is the most important part in Vedic mathematics. Without addition, we cannot do anything. Even multiplication, we are performing using addition. Even division. Now, I'll give you a very small example. In division, we subtract. But here in Vedic mathematics, we'll add to get the remainder. So there is a basic difference. But any big digit number is there, we can calculate within 3 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds.
That's good.
Any more questions?
Another question. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do have. So, as you said that, person from Germany, right?
Yeah. I have a student from Germany. I have a student from Australia. I have.
Okay, so how do these people, English people, I'm talking, if he's English person or non-Indian basically, okay, let's say non-Indian, how do they find these terms which are related to Sanskrit?
See,
which you're telling in the webinar, for example.
Initially, I'm not. See, I just told you it has 16 sutras. I didn't even in the entire session today. I didn't mention which sutra it is. I didn't mention.
Do you mention that in your webinars or not? I mean, do they know that it's based on some particular words, etc., as a part of the course?
See, what is the purpose? The purpose is their speed should increase. The purpose is they should gain the knowledge. A book has that names written, but if I confuse them initially, then they will not understand it. Let them understand the concept first. Then they will definitely learn, because why they'll learn? I'll tell you one more reason. Every student, I try for my every student that they should start making videos just after 2 or 3 classes. My student from Assam, she's in 8th standard. So very second after second class, I when she submitted me the homework, I said she's done the best homework. I said to my staff and everybody, why? Because the way she attempted was very good. So third class, I said, you start with the video. And now we gave a session last week. I was talking in English. She was translating in Assamese. So you got the point. Now, when you have to teach, you'll understand. You'll learn automatically. So why to create that confusion initially? When time will come, you'll definitely learn. First, the concept should be clear. If you know every term, if the teacher knows every term, but the teacher is not able to translate that knowledge to the student, what is the use of it? So very first thing, they should understand. Your student should understand the things first. Cramming this name is not a big job. They'll do anytime.
No,
Because, and
I
secondly,
just wanted to understand because from
yes,
offering it
you,
to yeah.
you are correct. Second thing, they don't have to give exam where they have to write the definitions only. If you have watched that movie, Three Idiots, it was the same. See, we don't have to cram. We need to understand the concept. So I believe in that. Once they start, they understand. Once they start making their own videos, that the same moment their interest has developed, the purpose is solved. See, when they are interested now to learn it, because they have to teach the other kids, so my purpose is solved.
Good. That's nice, Yogesh.
So any more questions? So we'll wind up then.
Not for now.
No issues.
Yes, we can.
So we'll wind up today for the today's session, and thank you very much for being patient. And
thank you for showing.
Thank you
for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thanks everybody.
Chalo.
So we'll be logging it now. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.